As Kevin Costner tries to take his comeback from the small screen to the big screen, will he end up with an incomplete? You're watching Beyond the Trailers review of Draft Day.
Bo Callahan, he's the surefire slam dunk #1 pick.
Trade me. I'm going to do what's best for the team.
This is the draft analysis we've all been working on for the last 2 months.
Just made a trade with the Seahawks.
Sonny, that's our future.
You sold a cow for magic beans.
How does the entire world already know about this, Mom?
Because I just tweeted it.
You're on Twitter?
You're not.
Just like Mel Gibson's Braveheart, Kevin Costner's signature film is Dances with Wolves. He directed, produced, and starred in the epic film, which was a box office hit that went on to sweep the Oscars. Nominated in 12 categories, winning in 7, including Best Director and Best Picture for Costner. But also, just like Gibson, Costner would learn that even a film of that magnitude could not provide career security. While follow-up films Robin Hood and The Bodyguard were hits, and even to some degree JFK, things went from bad to catastrophic with Wyatt Earp and then Waterworld. Sure, it made $264 million worldwide in 1995, but it also cost $175 million to make. Costner continued to work, but was no longer the movie star he once was in the late 80s and early 90s. That is until 2012, when, like many actors, Costner realized that television was fast becoming a place where careers could be saved and revived. And both sides win, as while television offers actors like Costner the quality roles they can no longer get on the big screen, actors like Costner give television star power on the cheap. Thus was the case with Hatfields and McCoys, the History Channel's first scripted drama. The miniseries debuted to the biggest audience ever for the cable channel and the most watched event ever on a non-pay cable channel. Even follow-up miniseries The Bible couldn't top it. Hatfields and McCoys also took home several awards, including a Golden Globe and an Emmy for Costner. The film industry took notice, and suddenly Costner is not only appearing in movies like Man of Steel, but this year has 4 movies scheduled to hit theaters. Now, the first 2, Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit and 3 Days to Kill, were DOA, but maybe Draft Day will turn things around? It's directed by another Hollywood talent who's seen better days, Ivan Reitman. While he'd previously directed Ghostbusters, Kindergarten Cop, and Dave, these days Reitman is better known for being Jason Reitman's father. Reitman had planned to helm a 3rd Ghostbusters, but recently told Sony he'd help them find someone else, as touchingly, he didn't want to continue with the franchise after Harold Ramis's death. But ironically, as Costner tries to turn his small screen success into a big screen comeback, is Draft Day really more of a TV movie? Yes, at its core, this is a TV movie, but I have to give credit to the entire creative team, both in front of and behind the camera, for doing as much as humanly possible to elevate this material. And I have to say, they get it pretty darn high. This movie is very good. It's surprisingly good. And while, as I said, it's at its heart a TV movie, which means you don't need to see it on the big screen, I would still see it at some point, especially if you watch this channel, because a lot of the things we like to discuss here in terms of the business of Hollywood is on display here in the business of the NFL. And it was fascinating, and it's a shame they couldn't convey that that's what they'd be depicting here in the trailers. I don't know, to be fair to them, to the publicity department here, I don't know how you could get this point across without having to have it come out via reviews, I guess, like this. So I'm going to do my best to explain to you what's going on in Draft Day and why it's actually turned out to be a somewhat special film. Now, behind the camera, I think one of the people who, actually a duo, who worked the hardest to elevate this material are the editors. It's Dana E. Glauberman and Sheldon Kahn. I rarely mention editors here on this show. I think I really never do. But these editors did such a phenomenal job here, they deserve a name shout out. And what they did is they added energy to this film, which is essentially a lot of business discussions. And they're able to make it very exciting by using really unconventional means. They have push slides, they have wipe cuts, they have split frames, they have cutouts, things that you would think when you just hearing them would be a bad idea. But they really are effective and make the film, as I said, much more energetic and exciting. So they did a top-notch job. Also the writers, very good, and I looked them up as well. They are a new, both of them are new to the business. Rajiv Joseph has written just basically 2 episodes of Nurse Jackie and like one single episode somewhere else. And then also Scott Rothman, this is his first professional credit. And I think it's amazing these two were able to come out of nowhere and craft something that I think is so sophisticated. And what I liked about it is I think that this film is a very rare look at what it's like to operate at the top levels of any profession. I think this conveys a lot of hard, universal truths about the pressure that these executives are under and the stakes, which is something, as I said, which is rarely shown. And I just thought that was really exciting to see. I thought this film, it was not only fun, as I said, to watch this unfold, but it's also either a great reminder or a teaching tool as to how to conduct yourself in such an environment. So if you're interested in maybe becoming upper management, if you're interested in putting on a suit and pulling the strings rather than being out front, this is a movie you should see, because I think and also if you're going to interact with those people at all, I think it also does a good job of showing how athletes can make good choices and bad choices when dealing with these people. So I thought that was really phenomenal to watch. Also, talking about educational, I want to get everything right, so I have my notes here. Talking about educational, I also learned a lot about the NFL, in particular the NFL draft. I'm not a big football fan. I watch the Super Bowl every year, and I do enjoy it. For instance, I went to a Steelers game in Pittsburgh. My grandmother lives in Pittsburgh in the fall, last September. And this brought back really good memories of that event. Because I think that not only does it teach you about how the NFL draft works, which I think is a very interesting, unique phenomenon. This is the way players are distributed to teams. I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be great if that's how we could break down actors? It would be so much fun. But unfortunately, it's a little harder to pin down, the actors, if they're a commodity or not, because you have that darn artistic aspect to it, where here, there's some discussion about interaction with fans, personality, but also, performance is black and white on the field. To some degree, I guess, I'm sure some sports fans will argue that, but certainly more than with actors. But I just like being in the world of the NFL. I loved seeing all the different stadiums. I thought each city was set up very nicely, a lot of fun. I like seeing the impressive offices of the NFL. I love seeing the fans. And I really did like seeing the workings, the inner organizations of these teams that are responsible for making game day happen. You don't see them on the field. But you see often coaches and owners come out and wave. You see them in their sky boxes, but you don't really know a lot about them because they don't get a lot of time in the spotlight. And this is a great chance to put them in the spotlight where they're front and center. Everyone did a great job. Also in front of the camera. Let's move in front of the camera. Oh, as to Ivan Reitman, I guess I should give him a shout out. I don't think he did anything particularly amazing. As I said, the editing and the writing are the standouts here, and the acting, which I'll get to in a moment. But I guess Ivan Reitman didn't fumble. He did a very nice job. Truly, everybody was at the hands of a professional, and he let the film breathe. As for the actors, nobody did anything groundbreaking here. Nobody pushed the edge of the envelope, but they did what has made them famous to begin with. You have classic Kevin Costner here, classic Denis Leary, classic Jennifer Garner, classic Frank Langella. I thought that was really great to see all these people doing what they do best. So that was another fun element. If you're at all a fan of any of these people, particularly Kevin Costner, if you like Kevin Costner films when he makes a good Kevin Costner film, this is a film to watch. So again, in short, I think that you could see this film on any size screen. I know there's a lot of people want to, spend their money wisely with ticket sales. So I'm saying, you don't have to rush out and see this, but make a mental note of it or an actual note to make sure you catch it when it either goes, onto demand or streaming, or if you're on an airplane, it happens to be playing, or a hotel room. This is a movie you should be really excited to see up there because you'll have the opportunity to see it. Especially, as I said, if you're a fan of this channel. If you enjoy like we do, like I do, we do it together talking about the business of movie making, you'll enjoy a slight detour to take a look at the business of the NFL. So that's my review of Draft Day. If you've seen the film, write your thoughts down below. Thank you for tuning in, and you can check out some more episodes right now.